Hello, everyone. We'll get started with our session. So, welcome to our webinar. I'm Katerina. I will be your moderator today. And our session topic is about project operation and proMX solutions. More specifically, how we overcome common project pitfalls with project operations and the solutions that are developed by proMX. And of course, today we have Rudy Vanhille. It is our global product director who will give us more insights on this topic and even highlight some demos. So at the end of the session, we'll have a Q&A. You can drop your questions into the chat or also raise your hand and we will unmute your mic. And let's then jump into that. Rudy, the stage is yours.
All right, thank you. Can you hear me well?
Yes, we can hear you.
Good start. Good afternoon. My name is Rudy Vanhille. I'm calling from Belgium. In Belgium, at this moment, 35, 33 degrees. So very hot. So I don't know if I can tell you good evening, good morning, good night, but all is good. So like Katja mentioned, I'm the Global Product Director responsible for the business around our proMX ISV solutions. In my role, I work closely with customers, with partners, and our delivery teams, helping project-based organizations to build and implement our solutions on top of Dynamics 365 project operations. I also want to highlight the close collaboration we have with Rupa Mantravadi of Microsoft and her team in Redmond and Bangalore. Together with them, we have the opportunity to build on top of project operations. So actually, we close the gaps which are missing today in project operations, and we make it even better. What I see across many organizations is a very similar pattern. They have strong platforms, experienced people, but still projects struggling with overruns, delays, and resource challenges. Today, I want to share how we address these challenges with our proMX 365 productivity suite. It is less about project operations. You can find a lot of information on the web at Microsoft site, but it is today more what we add on top of it. The session is practical and demo-oriented, focused on improving real project outcomes. Short agenda of today. I will start by looking at the 6 recurring points of failure we see in project delivery, issues that often limit control, transparency, and predictability, and how proMX directly improves project outcomes by addressing these failure points. After that, I will give you an overview of the proMX 365 productivity suite and how the different solutions fit together. We also look ahead at how we are shifting to AI-driven solutions. It is not experimenting anymore. It is really business processes that we can handle today with AI processes. Now, I will give you some demos around that as well. And finally, I'll walk you through several demos, so including the AI-enabled scenarios. And we will close with the Q&A and next steps. So let's start by listening to a short video about the 6 points of failure.
Let's start with the 6 points of failure. These are the most common issues seen in project delivery across industries and regions, even in mature organizations. Let me briefly walk you through them. The first and most painful failure point is lost revenue. This happens when costs and delays become unpredictable, often due to many small mistakes such as wrong scope, unbilled rework, staffing issues, and delays. Teams sense this early, but organizations react late. By the time the situation is fully understood, the revenue is already lost, and lost margin cannot be recovered. The second failure point is missed deadlines. Projects miss deadlines not because teams don't work hard enough, but because early warning signals are missed or ignored. Changes in dependencies, scope, and resources are not reflected quickly enough in plans and decisions. When delays finally become visible, there is little room left to correct course. Every project has risks, but the real problem arises when they are known and not actively managed. Issues remain local or informal, or are postponed and suddenly escalate into major disruptions. What could have been a small adjustment turns into an escalation, a delay, or a financial impact. The fourth failure point is operational inefficiency. Processes look fine on paper, but execution is disconnected. Information is scattered across tools, reports, and conversations. Teams spend time reconciling data rather than delivering value. This disconnection causes chaos, duplicated work, manual steps, slow approvals, and the operation itself becomes a bottleneck. The fifth point of failure is resource bottlenecks. Some people are constantly overbooked while other capacity remains unused. Skills do not always match demand at the right time, and changes in priorities are spread across multiple projects. This leads to burnout on one side and inefficiency on the other, both directly affecting delivery and quality. Finally, lack of visibility. When insight into performance is limited, decision-making becomes reactive. Organizations rely on reports, meetings, and assumptions instead of real-time insight. Without clear visibility, proactive and consistent steering becomes almost impossible. We've just looked at the 6 points of failure in project delivery. The real goal is to change project behavior early enough so problems never turn into failures. proMX 365 Productivity Suite improves project outcomes by focusing on better insight, less friction, and earlier decision-making. Let's look at what changes in practice. The first outcome is protected revenue. What changes is not reporting at the end of the project, but continuous financial awareness during execution. Teams gain early insight into effort, cost, and progress, allowing corrective action before financial impact becomes permanent. The shift is from post-project explanation to in-project control. The second outcome is more reliable delivery. Delivery becomes predictable when changes are visible early and reflected consistently across planning and execution. Organizations work with living project information, aligning dependencies, progress, and constraints. This makes it possible to spot delays early and steer actively, resulting in fewer surprises internally and with customers. The third outcome is proactive risk control. Risks don't disappear, but they stop being informal or invisible. When risks are structured, monitored, and connected to delivery data, small issues are addressed early rather than escalating into major disruptions. Risk management becomes a steering mechanism rather than a reporting exercise. The fourth outcome is operational efficiency. The biggest change is the reduction of manual work around the project lifecycle. Project setup, governance, and operational activities become more standardized and connected, removing fragmentation, reducing duplication, and speeding up execution. Teams spend less time managing operations and more time delivering value. The fifth outcome is balanced resourcing. Resource decisions improve when demand, capacity, and skills are visible in a single context. Organizations can anticipate capacity issues and adjust earlier, and changes in priorities no longer cascade blindly. This leads to healthier teams and more sustainable delivery. Clear visibility is the foundation for all other outcomes. When performance is transparent and consistent, decisions are based on facts rather than assumptions. Management needs reliable signals, not more reports. Clear visibility turns project data into confidence and enables faster, better decisions at every level. Let's start with the 6 points of.
So, this gave you an overview of the 6 points of failure and how we address these with Productivity Suite. That's the reason why we are creating these solutions. Let's dive a little bit closer into the overview of what we have. We are developing already many years around project management solutions. And in the beginning, we had our own solution, then PSA came, and then project operations came. And we always extended the possibilities of those applications. And that's what we are doing as well with the today project operations basis. First of all, we have developed a time tracking and a mobile time tracking application. It's actually today the standard application inside project operations, because Microsoft acquired this use rights last year. So if you go to project operations and you go to your calendar time entry, it's our solution. Why are we just presenting them today in addition to what is standard? Because we have some additions on top of it. First of all, we are more flexible to change and adapt towards the customer needs, but also we have the possibility on the mobile version to connect with Outlook, to integrate with Outlook. And on the calendar version, on top of project operations, we have the possibility to book on behalf of someone else, so that you can enter time for someone else. And also we have recurring time entries and a lot of more. By the way, we are working now as well on a time entry agent. So where we have the possibility to search in the environment, where is there someone with a certain time that spent some time on a project. So with a start date, with an end date, and a date itself. Furthermore, we have absence management. Absence management is on top of the resource utilization component in Dynamics. So it collaborates with field service, with project operations, or with other tools. What we have developed is actually a leave management solution, where you have immediately insights on who is on leave on what time. It's not only seeing, but also the process to request leaves, to approve leaves. There is also several regions managed. For instance, when someone of India takes a sick day, it will be deducted of the holiday allowance. It's not that case in Europe or in Germany, as an example. And here you see the personal view, the company view. There's also a management view that you have immediately in one overview, a good look on who is not available for work. Then we have portfolio management. Portfolio management is actually the flagship of our solutions. And we created this because in project operations, there is really gap about this. Not only about the single project itself. With a single project in project operations, you can go to 5,000 tasks. Sorry. To 5,000 tasks, and we'll put off my phone. And 600 dependencies. Actually, we can increase that with our solution. So we can go to 20,000 tasks just in one project. Also subtasks be needed, and that's what you see here. So the PPM solution is actually a Gantt overview, where you see all the projects and the tasks connected together in a program, in a portfolio. So this is really about multi-project management. And like you see on the bottom as well, we have the possibility to do resource planning and to do your resource assignments on a multi-project view. So not diving into the project itself without seeing anything else. You can see here who is really connected, involved in which project. And also you can see his availability. And you can even drag and drop immediately your resource towards the Gantt, towards a task, and assign this resource to the project. So if you double click, you will see, you will open just project operations. It is quite seamless, integrated with project operations. I will show you later on a small video where we go more into the depth of the PPM solution. Core is about everything what we see as a close small gap in project operations. For instance, there is no risk matrix, so we add a risk matrix. There is also maybe not a radar chart, we added one. We have a possibility to do ratings. We added that functionality, so you can add this layer on top of your project operations, and all those functions comes available. A very small one, if you work in a multi-language environment, sometimes it is difficult to deal with languages. Of course, you can translate and you can switch your forms, but what about data of lookup fields? So we have a possibility as well to do a multilingual lookup field thing, and so on and so forth. So this is the core solution. For the rest, you see on the bottom, we have developed a lot of features that comes along with our end-to-end project management cycle. And it starts with sometimes an idea. An idea turns into a business case, but that business case needs to be described and commented, and also return of investment needs to be handled. We as well are working on an OKR system where you can, of your project, do kind of OKR, object key results exercise. We are working on CAPEX, OPEX. We have project templates, which is sometimes easy as well, that you can start from, not from scratch, but from certain templates, and where you can drag and drop all those projects with the tasks, and it will be added immediately to project operations. And we are working on a lightweight but very efficient CPQ system on top of sales dynamics. Then it's all about resource planning, risk mitigation, also life cycle tracking, where we see the life cycle of a project in different stages, and where we have stage gating, that you can go from one stage to the other if certain parameters are flagged with yes. Baselining and scenario planning, I will show that right away in the demo, and all other things like notifications, pulse check, lessons learned. Also very nice to add that you can capture all the good things, maybe also the bad things that went wrong in a project, that you can learn out of that. And this is data that you give. You do also sessions around it. You approve tasks as lessons learned, and so on and so forth. This comes all together. We are building at this moment as well an agent on top of the lessons learned. So whenever you start with a new project and the agent finds a project in the past which is kind of similar, he comes with the recommendations. So we also have AI-driven solutions. We have an absence management agent. So instead of going to the model-driven app, you have the possibility to just type in Teams and ask for a request, just request an absence. And the AI will start playing around with cards, will send all these notifications to your manager, and the manager can approve. And then you can also see your holiday allowance just by typing in how many holidays do I still have, and so on and so forth. So it is less going to an application, more just regular chat in Teams. Then we have as well a change order agent. Sometimes it is very work intensive to change orders or quotes, and we have an agent for that. So it's kind of rules that we do, and it increases the speed of very boring tasks, so to say. Then we have the time entry agent. We use IQ Work, where we connect to Teams, to your email, to your calendar, and search for time entries, because the meeting we are doing today is sitting in my agenda. So normally, if the time entry agent is doing well, he will automatically propose an hour of webinar that I gave. Sometimes it is difficult to connect to the project, but we are increasing the intelligence of the time entry agent, that he even can search for projects to connect with. Then an RFP to proposal agent is something we built for ourselves, but it is something which is very, very keen and very nice. So we all get a lot of RFPs, and this agent will really dive into the RFP and try to come with a proposal. And we will do next steps after that? Because if we have a proposal, we will have certain meetings, and based on the meetings, we can come to a kind of project plan, and that project plan needs to be delivered, but also proposed. So we will make proposals, we make project plans out of it, and the next step, and that's dreaming, of course, is that your agent can start developing the solution. Future talk, but not really future talk if you see certain people being in proMX that are already using vibe coding just by a good prompting. It's prompt engineering, so we will add prompt engineering after that as well. And we have a support agent. Support agent is actually which we use internally now to help support organizations, support divisions, just by answering the most common questions customers could have or partners could have. So that's the support agent. Then we have recently developed proMX 365 PMO Assistant. We call it Bob. You will see and hear in the demo that it is a woman. So it is not really correct, but Bob is not really a name. It is beyond our boundaries. And Bob is actually a multi-agent system. It's a kind of project management assistant that knows and understands a lot of projects, people, costs, risks, priorities, meetings you had, bookable resources, and so on and so forth. In the demo, I will show you 3 use cases how we can use Bob and how you can speak with AI and how she answers your questions. So that's quite new, to be honest. All right. Before I go to the demos, is there any question until now?
No questions in the chat at the moment.
Okay, good. I will start continuing with the demos now. We have some time at the end for Q&A, so feel free afterwards. Okay, let's dive into time tracking first. And time tracking is the solution that we have added as a calendar view in project operation. This is what you see. So with our version, we have the resources as well, where you can book on behalf of someone else. And on the right side, you have your weekly overview with charts, with working time, and so on and so forth. Now, let's see if I have some. Yeah, he's now reconnecting because I had kind of timeout. Let's do a new time entry. So I can just add time by selecting my blocks in my agenda. There is type of work that I can do. It's work, overtime, absence, or vacation, and I can select my project. By selecting my project, I can select my task, and then I have my task here available. I can give a description and then some extra comments, and then just save it. Now, the time entry will be created. After the week, for instance, I can say, okay, let's submit my time entries. Time entries will be submitted and will be part of project operations because it is really entered on project operations where the time entries will be proposed as approvals for your manager. The manager can approve or not approve, and that's how it works. We have here as well the mobile version available where we even connect with your calendar, and the calendar proposes then already your time entries in your mobile phone. There's work view, month view, agenda view, day view, the common ticks. Let's go to absence management. Absence management, reopening the app. Like you see on the left side, you have the possibility to find your school holidays, and school holidays are per region, per state, per region. You can make it flexible here. You have your holiday areas, and this is especially as well, for instance, in Germany, we have several holiday areas that you can define, and you can connect your bookable resources to these holiday areas. You can have and insert also the public holidays. You have your public bookable resources, which are coming from Dynamics. Your holiday allowances, which means I have 30 days, 20 days, 25 days of holiday a year. Even in India, they have no holiday allowance in the beginning of a year, but they earn every month 2 days in addition. So these are all things that we have embedded in the solution. And then you have your absence request just by typing in the absence itself, request it, and then the manager will get a notification, can approve it, can reject it for a reason perhaps. And here you see the personal view with the different types of holidays, the different status where they are in. And besides that, I have a manager view, I have a company view where I can see immediately where I am. And there are certain other views that you can select. So that means you can, for instance, see what about the fitters or the pipers or the people that need to work in construction. You can really group teams and see how and who is available, and you can group them by and so on and so forth. Now, this is actually the normal solution. Let me show you quickly how we can do that through the agent. And let me start up a small demo here.
Meet the proMX 365 Absence Management Agent. Just ask the agent to create a new absence request. Pick your dates, choose the absence type, and submit all within seconds. The system automatically checks your holiday allowance and prevents overlaps. Say, show me all absence requests for 2025, and the agent displays your approved, pending, and draft requests, all in one clear overview. For managers, approving requests is just as easy. Ask to show absence requests I need to review, approve, or decline with one click. It's fast, transparent, and fully traceable. Ask for your holiday allowance overview and instantly see your total entitlement, what's taken, and what remains. You can create drafts for requests and submit them at a later time. Your team's absences are seamlessly reflected in Dynamics 365 project operations.
Good. So that was the agent. It is also another way of using forms in Teams. So this brings a more interactive way of working instead of going to a classic model-driven app. Let's dive into the flagship of our portfolio or product portfolio, which is project portfolio management. Let me switch again as well to my other screen. So we added on project operations and entity portfolios, and in the meantime, programs is already available. And portfolios is actually a bunch of all different programs. And if you dive into a program, you will see that there are several projects connected to a program. This is just a way of bundling projects together in a higher level. Now, in this example, we have the hierarchy of portfolios, of programs, and of projects. But we can go also to tasks and do subtasks. Now, this is just an example. If you have another structure where you don't use the naming program or just something else, could be a division, could be a region or something like that, we can just configure this in the solution. It is a Power App. It is a plugin on Power Apps, and we can configure it like you wish, actually. Now, going into the portfolio itself, there you will see that we just put everything what is on the lowest level, conclude them and summarize them on the high level. like there is, for instance, with budgeting. So all the budgets that you see in the portfolio are coming from the projects or the program underneath, and also the projects underneath. So it gives you a kind of drill down possibility into the system. Now, the portfolio management is all about a Gantt chart, where you have a better overview, not only on one project, because in project operations, you have the possibility to go to project to the web, which is your tasks. You can go to your Gantt chart, you can see critical paths, you can even open the baselines and all those things and the resources and resource assignments. What we are doing with this application is bringing them to a multi-project level. And that's what you see here. We have the highest level, which is portfolio, program, and the different projects underneath. So here you see the timeline. It started somewhere in beginning of 25, and it is almost ending by the end of 26. We have the portfolio start, we have portfolio end, and we have here the current date. Now, this is shown by quarter. You can do per year, month, week. We have even daily views and even hourly views. We have a customer in US which uses this solution with 40,000 tasks in it, but task needs to be scheduled by 30 minutes. So this is all possible here. Now you see as well, we have some lines here, some arrows, and these are dependencies. We have the classic dependencies, and dependencies are just by dragging and dropping, everything is already here. Never mind. You just click and then go to the other one, and then a dependency will be created. There are several dependencies. You have finish to start, start to finish, start to start, and finish to finish. These are all the possibilities. When you click on a bar here, then project operations opens his project. You can extend the end of a bar. You can extend and shift the beginning of a bar if there are no actuals on it. Now, this is an overview, but you see on top you can show different portfolios. You can even show your baseline. And that was actually the beginning of my project. Now, life situation is totally different because, a lot of things occurred, things changed, constraints, people were not available, and so on and so forth. Now we have another view as well, where you can do the baselining here. Here you see the baselining as gray connected. So you see the difference. We even have the possibility to compare with several versions. And the version is something which I took in the past, or just copy the version and then play around with it, because there it is a version without actuals, and then you can shift and extend and put some project earlier or later, or extend and so on and so forth, and then you can see the results in comparison. We bring as well, just a moment, we bring as well the financial view to the Gantt chart. And what we are doing here is actually finding all the actuals, which are on the left side of the red line, and the estimation still to go on the right side of the red line, with information about budget, sales, costs, and forecasts. There are some percentages here. You can also switch to real values, a lot of rules behind it, but it gives you at least a good understanding on where you are with color coding and so on and so forth. So this is the financial view. Yeah, going back. Now, moving forward, I want to show you a more in-depth version, which is actually the one with resources in it and resource assignments. We'll open my presentation for that, and we'll start up a small video for you as well, where you will see the more lower level of tasks management. And on the bottom, you see the resource assignments and resource management and how we can work with it.
In the previous demo, you saw proMX 365 Project Portfolio Management in its standard form. Now, let's take the next step. This version of proMX 365 PPM adds integrated resource management on top of project and portfolio planning. It brings projects, timelines, and people together in one single planning experience, so organizations can not only plan work, but also understand who is doing the work, when, and at what capacity. This is where predictability and delivery control truly come together. Here you can see the PPM application and its main components. In the upper area, you see the Gantt component. On the left side of the Gantt, there is a table showing the hierarchical structure of the records. At the highest level, we start with portfolios. Below that, we have programs, then projects, and finally tasks. Tasks can also contain subtasks, allowing for detailed planning where needed. Some tasks include subtasks, while others remain single tasks. This gives full flexibility in how work is structured. In the table, you also see different columns. These columns can come from portfolio, program, project, or task records, such as start dates and finish dates. All values in these columns can be updated directly, making planning fast and interactive. On the right side, you see the Gantt chart itself. This is the visual representation of all records along a timeline. Different timeline views are available. You can zoom in or out, switch between day, month, quarter, or other views, depending on the level of detail you need. All planning information is available in one single view. The application also supports dependencies between tasks. Different dependency types are available, such as finish to start to start, finish to finish, and start to finish. Dependencies are visually highlighted using colors. For example, an orange dependency indicates a lock dependency. This means the task cannot simply be moved, as doing so would violate the dependency rules. When you try to move a successor task that is locked, the system immediately shows a warning and asks whether you want to proceed. If you choose not to proceed, the task automatically returns to its original position. If you confirm the change, the dependency is adjusted, shown in black, and the system removes the lock. After that, start and finish dates can be changed freely. In addition, the application supports different types of constraints for project tasks, allowing precise control over scheduling when required. Examples of these constraints include must start on, start no, earlier than, and finish no later than. Another important visual indicator is the color separation within the taskbar. The difference between light green and dark green indicates progress. In this case, the task has already been started, and the color split reflects its percentage of completion. For example, this task is currently 20% complete. In addition to scheduling and progress tracking, resources can be assigned directly to tasks. This is reflected in the resource utilization component displayed below the Gantt chart. Here we again see a hierarchical structure. At the top level, organizational units are shown, and beneath them, the individual resources belonging to those units. This gives immediate visibility into how people are allocated across tasks and projects. We can expand the resource records to see the projects in which each resource is involved. When we expand a project, we can then see the individual tasks assigned to that resource. For example, here we see the resource Malcolm. Malcolm is assigned to the Roadworks project, working on a specific task. For this month, Malcolm has been assigned a total of 160 hours. The interaction between views is synchronized. When a task is selected in the resource view, the corresponding task is automatically highlighted in the Gantt chart. If we switch the view, we can see detailed assignments broken down by week. In this case, Malcolm is assigned close to 40 hours per week during the month of May. In the resource utilization view, we also see summary numbers. The first number represents the total number of hours assigned across all tasks for this resource. The second number represents the available capacity taken directly from the bookable resource calendar. Color indicators immediately show whether a resource is underutilized, fully utilized, or overallocated. This makes it easy to understand whether more work can be assigned or whether capacity limits have already been exceeded. Assigning a resource to a task is simple. To create a resource assignment, we can use drag and drop. Once assigned, the resource immediately appears on the task, and the utilization data is updated automatically. In the Settings menu, we can configure different planning options, such as baselines, status dates, and scheduling settings. One important aspect here is the choice of scheduling engine. The application supports two scheduling approaches. The first option is the Microsoft Scheduling Engine, based on Project for the Web. The second option is external scheduling, powered by proMX. If a project is set to use external scheduling, the Gantt chart becomes fully interactive. This means you can move tasks directly on the timeline, create and adjust dependencies between tasks, assign resources, and manage team members, all within the same view. This option provides full control over planning and scheduling directly inside proMX 365 ppm. Alternatively, if you choose the Microsoft Scheduling Engine, the Gantt chart is used primarily for visualization. Task dependencies and detailed task scheduling become read-only as these are managed in Microsoft's own applications. In this mode, you can still move and update portfolios, programs, and projects on another level. However, individual project tasks, task dependencies, and resource assignments are not edited directly in this Gantt view. As a final feature, let's take a look at snapshots. By default, the Gantt view is set to live. This means we are displaying the current real-time data directly from project operations records. In addition to live data, the application allows us to work with snapshots. Snapshots can be created in different ways. They can be generated on demand as an ad hoc snapshot or created automatically on a daily, weekly, monthly, or custom schedule. Snapshots capture the exact state of portfolios, projects, tasks, and resources at a specific moment in time. We can also load snapshots from the past. For example, let's go back to March 2027 and review what the overall project situation looked like at that moment. This makes it possible to compare today's planning with historical versions, understand changes over time, and improve decision-making based on real data. This brings us to the end of the overview. What you've seen is how proMX 365 ppm goes beyond traditional project tracking. It combines portfolio structure, advanced scheduling, and resource-aware planning in one integrated solution. This allows organizations to plan more realistically, manage capacity proactively, and deliver projects with greater confidence. proMX 365 ppm helps turn project plans into predictable outcomes.
All right, so this is our PPM solution. You saw the more simple version and the more extended version. Both are available whether you want to add your tasks and subtasks to it or not. Today, often used by companies that are replacing Project Online, because Project Online becomes deprecated by the end of September this year. And we have a migration path to Project Operations. But then you miss actually that Gantt view, the planning, the task planning, and that's what we solve with our PPM solution. Now, Another demo that I want to give is our PMO Assistant, which is Bob. It's beyond our boundaries, but it will be presented by a lady this moment. Just give me 1 second to switch to our Bob solution. Now, let's open my other presentation here so I can search for my questions. And yeah, you can actually pull on the microphone or just type in your question. And I'm back at the office Monday morning, and I will ask Bob, yeah, actually, what happened during the weekend? What did I miss? Let's start asking that to Bob. So it is one, main agent that will look into the question and then distribute it to the different underlying agents, like there is portfolio agent, financial agent, and so on and so forth. So normally it takes less than a minute. So let's wait a few other seconds. Bob is today in preview. We are pushing it now to AppSource.
Over the weekend, your portfolio health declined to 61 out of 100, with 4 of 12 projects now in red after Azure Cloud migration was down.
Yeah, you will hear the voice and also the total outcome, actually. So let's see, because it was here, you get information about your projects, what happened over the weekend, and yeah, you get a full overview, actually. So this is an example. Another example is a less pleasant one. Sarah Chen just told me that she wants to resign with 2 weeks' notice. So yeah, what happens now? But you can ask Bob and ask how bad it is. So I was telling we will put this on AppSource. Yeah, difficult exercise still is how do we monetize this? It is about tokens. How can we make clarity in the token usage and so on and so forth? But this is an experience where we all in at this moment. And here you see, let's wait. Okay, here you will see the answer where you find.
This is serious. Sarah's departure exposes $5.3 million across 2 major programs.
So she will speak again, and then you get an overview on, what will happen, because she's working on 2 critical projects with a huge budget, actually. And yeah, that's bad, of course. And we will try to find also some substitute. So Bob recommends Jana Hoffman. There is 25% skill overlap, but at this moment she is as well 122% utilized. So we need to find other ways. And yeah, this is just an example. And for the last example, I have the CFO that asks us, okay, we need to cut budget. So the ask is, I want to have a budget cut of 15%. What could we do? Also, again, Bob is searching, connecting to the correct agents underneath, and will come right away with some recommendations. Recommendations is not really to cut 15%, because there are 2 projects which are very important customers that could be paused. So that's not the best outcome. Bob recommends something else. And there is no project that will be passed, and comes with a solution. So like you see here, and right away she will start speaking again. All right.
You have 2 credible options for the board. A full 15% cut removes $167 million on paper, but realistically nets closer.
So, and that's the result. So these are just 3 examples. Of course, it is very important that you have good data in your system, and then Bob can do the rest. Let's see, we are almost in time. We have also notification engine. It gives you the possibility to define thresholds all over the system in Dynamics. And whenever the threshold is reached or you go over the threshold, you get Teams message, email message, in-app message, and so on and so forth. So actually, here ends my demo. Now, let's see if I have something else. I do believe I have something to announce, and this is where my colleague asked to show this. So my colleague MVP Sebastian Sieber, he's the Director of Technology, and we are working at this moment on an MCP server on top of project or operations. So please feel free to scan this QR code and subscribe yourself for the exclusive preview of the MCP server that we have created on top of project operations. Maybe to end about proMX, we did plus 150 project operations implementations. We have 25 years of experience with project management solutions. You see here as well all the locations which we cover around the world, with our head office in US, Miami, head office AG, that's Nuremberg, and we have some subsidiaries as well in Asia, plus 100 people in Mumbai. We started up recently in Singapore, Sydney, and we have also location in London. Working close together with Microsoft, mentioned already, covering the system integrator part, actually focused on project operations, and we have these ISV solutions as well to offer. Now, towards partners, we aim to work with partners where partners can resell our solutions, where they can use our project operations knowledge to their customers as well. So it's kind of a collaboration we want to set up with partners around the world. And towards customers, we always have a next step. And actually, that's a discovery call. Just by doing a call of 2 hours, we dive into the current challenges of a company, what are the pain points and the inefficiencies, what are specific calls, requirements, and then we will go to a tailored demo approach to show project operations, but also the productivity suite tailored to these customers. So here ends my presentation. Questions are welcome.
Thank you so much, Rudy, for such an insightful presentation and so many interesting demos. Myself, I am also impressed because I have seen also our products, how they have developed in only 1 year from now. That's incredible. We have indeed very interesting questions in the chat. So first question from Rakesh. How is proMX preparing for the upcoming new AI world?
Yeah, actually it started already last year. We are lucky to have some MVP guys in our company, and we were invited by Microsoft to collaborate close with them in this journey. So we prepared for that, and we learned a lot. We became as well a frontier company. So that's how Microsoft is doing it, to become a frontier company, to create AI, to create agents, to use it internally. Now Microsoft is coming as well with specific agents like expense agent and even time entry agent and all others, approval agent. We have tested them internally, and by doing this, it gives you a good overview actually on what it is about. Now, I'm responsible for the product team, and we live in exciting times now because We were developing all these tools many years ago, and last year was indeed such increase because we have a large team. But now we can speed up with vibe coding, with good prompt engineering. You can easily generate solutions in days, and that's really nice. So the future of our productivity suite will be a really code app layered solution where we will infuse AI all the way, and where we use vibe coding to create the solutions. Be ready for that. So my recommendation is, if you are connected with Microsoft, follow all the programs of Microsoft, become a frontier company, start developing, start collaborating. The thing is now we need to push this to the market. Now we need to sell this. Here we are still in the discovery phase together with Microsoft, how to monetize, because it is complex things. It is not only about just selling your licenses per user. It is more about really transaction based. So that's still a challenge, but that's how we did it.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Rudy. Next question from Shalaka. How can the charts or visuals be shared with the team or customers for progress updates?
Actually, these are all web resources, so you can share them whenever you like and how you like. It is in the past we did a lot of Power BI reports, and you can do the reporting there. But all the visuals, all the graphs are created immediately. Actually, also if you see what there occurs, it is instantly web resources that we have, so you can share these access to the web resources. You can PDF them. You can even put them in Excel. All those things. So there are different options to share all these results.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Rudy. I've seen also a raised hand from Ugo. Ugo, do you still have a question? Okay. Then we will continue with the questions from the chat. So next question from Dina. Currently, Dynamics Project Operations has limitation of 3,000 tasks per project. Did I hear right that proMX supports much more per project? And if so, what's the count, please? Also, considering the hierarchy of portfolio to program to project task, is there any limit on the count allowed at each node?
No. In the meantime, project operations is going up to 5,000 tasks. So I don't know if it is available already, but we have customers that really exceeds this limit. So there is no limitation in our solution. So we have customers working with 20,000, 25,000, 40,000 tasks. I just ended a call some hours ago where we have the same situation. And this is really a limitation which we tackle in our solution. It doesn't matter where it is, the limitation, but on task level, we can go to subtasks as well. So we can exceed this 5,000 tasks limit. Yeah.
Sounds good. Next question from Rakesh. How do you see the collaboration with partners who do not use project operations?
Yeah, actually, good question. And maybe I will see if I can share my screen again. We are working on a solution where we have a lightweight data schema. A data schema which is outside project operations, but inside Dataverse. And we will come with kind of, lightweight project operation version. It's an entry point to project operations. So without having project operations, we actually can do tasks. Let's see if I find my mouse again. Let's see, here it is. So you can see your tasks as well. It is rather limited. It is also about your projects, with a simple Gantt chart. It's not really the PPM solution like we have. You have time entry as well, same situation. You have your expenses and your approvals, your resources, and we will add invoices as well. It's lightweight, so it is a possibility for a partner not focused on project operations and maybe also in an SMB market to start with this and grow their knowledge, grow their business towards project operations. I know project operations is positioned in a certain market, so maybe less for SMB, but this could be a good alternative.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Rudy. We are a little bit over the time.
I didn't share my screen, so let's do that quickly. So yes. It is time. It is expenses, projects, the tasks like you see here as well. It is more limited. Your approvals, your resources, and there is an agent on top of that as well. Now, the nice thing of this is you can go to dark mode, to light mode, and you can, and that's the nice thing of those new apps that you develop. It is immediately available for mobile as well. So, yeah. That's when you use code apps and the new way of working and vibe coding and creating all those exciting solutions with AI. Sorry that I didn't share my screen in the beginning, but I hope I recovered.
Well, everything great. Last question for today, before we will close our session. What does a typical partner journey look like?
Yeah, it is, of course, about working together. Strongly believe in working together. Actually, we do have partnerships. Partnerships often starts with referring business, but also reselling business and collaborating with us when it comes to project management solutions. We have remember proMX as the guys from project management. And it is in certain industries, because it could be any industry, project management related, but often in professional services, energy, mining, oil and gas, construction, and all those things. We will find some partners that need as well some assistance of us or the assistance of our products. And we always dive into, when we find each other, we will go into a discovery phase. So a discovery phase where we dive into what is the partner, what is the focus of the partner, their industry, what are the products that could be a good fit in their portfolio to enhance the portfolio of them. We do an assessment, and then we can qualify the partner towards an engagement. And there we go really into the depth, where we do in-depth demonstrations to the tech team, where we discuss the go-to-market, where we negotiate some terms, and then go into agreement. An agreement often just by a reselling contract and a collaboration contract. And then we onboard this partner. Onboarding means, working close together. We don't have any partner fee to become a partner of our business. We invest time together in training, in get your first customer on board, and then the go-to-market, the planning, and so on and so forth, and grow.
Mm-hmm.
I think there was another question coming.
I believe that the question was about, could you please share the solution deck?
Of course, we can do that. I don't know if we can even, Katja, put it somewhere, because with all those videos inside, it's a lot of megabytes. You don't send this with, I think, just an email or something like that. But we will find a way that you can download this presentation with all the videos inside, with the comments inside. So yes, of course.
Definitely. All right, we don't have any questions left. However, in case you have any questions in the future, feel free to reach out to Rudy. We have left his contacts also in the chat. Also the link to the free assessment that Rudy mentioned. And of course, I hope that I will see you again in our upcoming webinars. Stay up to date to what's coming next. In our LinkedIn page, follow us to not miss any kind of news. Thank you, everyone, for being today with us. Have a great day ahead and see you around. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.